Stop. That quarter in your hand could be worth a small fortune. Most people walk past it every day, not knowing it could make them rich. Watch closely. You won't believe its hidden value. If you have this coin, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world, and I'm not exaggerating. Imagine holding a simple 1989 quarter in your hand, something that looks completely ordinary, something you might even ignore or spend without thinking twice. But what if I told you that one of these coins has been sold at auction for an astonishing $80,000? Yes, a single quarter, worth more than a luxury car, more than years of savings for many people. And the most shocking part is that this coin might still be out there, hidden in plain sight, sitting in someone's pocket, drawer, or old jar of coins. So before you skip this video, before you think this is just another ordinary story, take a moment and look closely at your coins, because what you're about to discover could change everything. Back in 1989, millions of quarters were minted in the United States, and at the time, there was nothing particularly special about them. These coins were part of everyday life, used in vending machines, laundromats, and small purchases. People didn't think of them as treasures, they were just money. But history has a strange way of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Over time, collectors began to notice that not all 1989 quarters were exactly the same. Some had subtle differences, tiny details that most people would never notice, but those details made all the difference. Now think about this. How many times have you handled coins without really looking at them? How many times have you tossed them aside, assuming they were worthless beyond their face value? That's exactly why coins like this can still be found today. The rare versions don't announce themselves. They don't shine brighter or feel heavier. They hide among the common ones, waiting for someone observant enough to spot them. And if you have this coin, you might truly be the luckiest person in the world. The design of the 1989 quarter features the familiar image of George Washington on the front, a design that has been used for decades. On the reverse side, you'll see the iconic eagle, wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and freedom. At first glance, there's nothing unusual here. But collectors know that the real story lies in the details, the tiny imperfections, the mint marks, and the errors that occurred during production. These errors are what turn an ordinary coin into a rare treasure. Let's talk about the minting process for a moment. Coins are produced in massive quantities using high-speed machines. And while these machines are incredibly precise, they are not perfect. Sometimes mistakes happen. A die might be misaligned, a strike might be slightly off-center, or there could be doubling in the design. These errors are usually caught and corrected quickly, but occasionally, a few coins slip through the cracks. And those coins, those rare mistakes, are the ones collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money for. Imagine being at an auction, surrounded by collectors, all competing for a single coin. The tension in the room builds as the bidding starts. The price climbs higher and higher, far beyond what anyone would expect for a simple quarter. And then, finally, the hammer falls, sold for $80,000. That's not just a story, it's a reality that has happened with rare coins like the 1989 quarter. And every time a coin like this appears at auction, it reminds us that these hidden treasures are still out there. If you have this coin, you could be holding something incredibly valuable without even realizing it. But how do you know if your coin is one of these rare examples? The answer lies in careful observation. Look closely at the date. Is it clear, or does it appear doubled? Check the mint mark. Is it present, and does it look normal? Examine the edges and the alignment. Does anything seem off? These small details can mean the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one worth thousands. What makes this even more fascinating is the mystery surrounding these coins. No one knows exactly how many rare 1989 quarters exist. Some might still be hidden in circulation, waiting to be discovered. Others might be sitting in collections, unknown to their owners. And every time someone finds one, it sends a wave of excitement through the collector community. Because each discovery proves that these coins are still out there, and that anyone could find one. Think about your own coins right now. Do you have a jar filled with spare change? Old coins tucked away in a drawer? Maybe even a collection you haven't looked at in years? What if one of those coins is the one everyone is searching for? What if you are the one who could bring the next rare 1989 quarter to auction and watch as the bids climb higher and higher? If you have this coin, you are not just lucky, you are incredibly fortunate. Because opportunities like this don't come often. The world of coin collecting is full of stories like this, but very few people ever get to experience it firsthand. Most people hear about these coins after they've already been discovered, after they've already been sold at auction for unbelievable prices. But you still have a chance. And here's the truth that many people don't realize. The value of a coin is not just about its age. It's about rarity, condition, and demand. A perfectly preserved coin with a unique error can be worth far more than an older coin in poor condition. That's why collectors pay such high prices at auction. They're not just buying a coin, they're buying a piece of history, a rare moment captured in metal. As the story of the 1989 quarter continues to spread, more and more people are starting to check their coins. And every now and then, someone makes an incredible discovery. A coin that was once overlooked becomes the center of attention. A simple quarter becomes a life-changing find. And it all starts with a closer look. So take a moment right now. Go and check your coins. Look carefully at every detail. Because if you have this coin, you might be holding something worth far more than you ever imagined. And who knows, maybe one day, your coin will be the one featured at a high-profile auction, with collectors competing to own it, driving the price up to unbelievable levels. The idea that a small piece of metal could be worth $80,000 might seem unbelievable, but it's real. It has happened before, and it can happen again. And the next time it happens, it could be you. You could be the one who discovers that hidden treasure, the one who turns a simple quarter into a fortune. So don't ignore your coins. Don't assume they're all the same. Because sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we overlook. And if you have this coin, you truly are one of the luckiest people in the world. And now, before you go, let me remind you one last time. If you have this coin, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world. Don't underestimate what's sitting in your pocket, your wallet, or that old jar of coins collecting dust at home. Because somewhere out there, a simple 1989 quarter has already made history at auction, selling for an unbelievable $80,000, and the next one could be yours. So take action right now. Pause this moment, go check your coins, look closely at every detail, and don't rush. Because one small discovery could completely change your life. And if you do find something unusual, something that doesn't look like the rest, don't ignore it. That could be your golden opportunity. And now, before we end, remember this. If you have a 1996 D quarter, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world. Don't ignore your coins, don't toss them aside, and don't assume they're all ordinary. Because hidden among them could be a rare treasure that collectors would pay thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars, to own. Take a moment today. Check your pockets, your drawers, your old coin jars. Look closely at every detail, the date, the mint mark, the edges, even the tiniest markings. That one small anomaly could turn a simple quarter into a life-changing find. If you enjoyed this video and want to uncover more hidden treasures like this, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us, because the next rare coin we reveal could already be in your hands. And remember, sometimes the greatest fortunes aren't buried in treasure chests. They're hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. Could that someone be you? If you have this coin, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world. Yes, we're talking about the 1996 D quarter dollar, a coin that most people have seen, touched, and spent without a second thought. But what if one of those ordinary-looking coins could actually be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars at auction? It sounds unbelievable, but stay with me, because this story might completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Picture this. It's 1996, a year when millions of quarters are being produced at the Denver Mint, marked with the small D on the front of the coin. These coins enter circulation quietly, becoming part of everyday life. People use them for bus fares, vending machines, and small purchases. No one is thinking about rarity. No one is imagining auctions, and certainly no one believes that decades later, collectors would be searching for these very coins with intense excitement. But history has a strange way of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. The 1996 D quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front, a design that has become one of the most recognized in the world. On the back, the powerful eagle spreads its wings, symbolizing strength and freedom. At first glance, there is nothing unusual about this coin. It looks like every other quarter. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous, because the rare ones hide in plain sight. Now think about this. How many times have you handled a coin without really looking at it? How many times have you ignored the tiny details that could reveal something valuable? That's exactly why coins like the 1996 D quarter can still be found today. The rare versions don't stand out to the untrained eye. They blend in, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. And if you have this coin, you might truly be the luckiest person in the world. Let's talk about what makes this coin so special. During the minting process, coins are struck using high-speed machines that operate with incredible precision. But even the best machines can make mistakes. Sometimes, there are double strikes, where the design appears slightly duplicated. Other times, there are off-center strikes, where the image is not perfectly aligned. There can even be die cracks or other unusual markings that make a coin unique. These small imperfections are what collectors look for, because they transform a common coin into a rare collectible. Imagine being at an auction. The room is filled with serious collectors, all focused on a single coin. The bidding starts low, but quickly rises as more people join in. The price climbs higher and higher, far beyond what anyone would expect for a simple quarter. And then, in a moment that feels almost unreal, the final bid is placed, and the coin is sold for an astonishing amount. This is the power of rarity, the power of discovery, and it's exactly why the 1996 D quarter has captured the attention of collectors. If you have this coin, you need to look closely. Check the mint mark. That small D is your first clue. Then examine the details of the design. Does anything look unusual? Is there doubling in the letters or numbers? Is the coin slightly off-center? Even the smallest difference can mean everything. Because in the world of coin collecting, tiny details can lead to massive value. What makes this even more exciting is the mystery. No one knows exactly how many rare 1996 D quarters are still out there. Some could be sitting in old collections, forgotten and overlooked. Others could still be in circulation, passing from hand to hand without anyone realizing their true worth. And every time one of these coins appears at auction, it reminds us that these hidden treasures are still waiting to be found. Think about your own coins right now. Maybe you have a jar filled with spare change, or a drawer where you keep old coins you never use. What if one of those coins is the one collectors are searching for? What if you are the one who discovers it and brings it to auction, watching as the bids rise higher and higher? It's not just a dream. It's something that has happened before, and it can happen again. If you have this coin, you are not just lucky, you are incredibly fortunate. Because opportunities like this are rare. Most people will never experience the thrill of discovering a valuable coin. They will spend their entire lives using coins without ever realizing that one of them could be worth a fortune. But you have a chance. And here's something important to remember. The value of a coin is not just about its age. It's about condition, rarity, and demand. A well-preserved coin with a unique error can be worth far more than an older coin in poor condition. That's why collectors are willing to pay such high prices at auction. They're not just buying a coin, they're buying a rare piece of history. As more people learn about the 1996 D quarter, the excitement continues to grow. More searches, more discoveries, and more stories of unexpected finds. Each new discovery proves that these coins are still out there, waiting to be found by someone who is willing to look a little closer. So take a moment right now. Go and check your coins. Look carefully at every detail. Because if you have this coin, you might be holding something incredibly valuable without even realizing it. And who knows, maybe one day, your coin will be the one that appears at a major auction, with collectors competing to own it, driving the price up to an unbelievable level. The idea that a simple 1996 D quarter could be worth thousands might sound impossible, but it's real. It has happened before, and it can happen again. And the next time it happens, it could be you. And now, before you move on, remember this. If you have this 1996 D quarter, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world. Don't ignore the coins around you. Don't spin them without a second glance, because one small detail could turn an ordinary quarter into a life-changing discovery. Somewhere out there, a rare 1996 D quarter has already shocked collectors at auction, selling for an incredible price that most people would never imagine for just 25 cents. And the next one could be sitting with you right now, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to notice it. So take action today. Check your pockets, your drawers, your old coin jars. Look closely, take your time, and don't rush. Because the difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable one is often just a tiny detail, one small feature that most people miss. If you have this coin, you could be one of the luckiest people in the world, and I mean that literally. The 1989 P quarter dollar may seem like just another coin, something you pass by every day, something you might even spend without thinking twice. But what most people don't realize is that within this ordinary-looking coin could be a rare, highly sought-after treasure worth thousands of dollars to collectors. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks completely normal, but that could potentially fetch an astonishing price at auction, completely changing your life. That's exactly what the 1989 P quarter has the power to do. Back in 1989, millions of quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, stamped with the famous P mint mark that most people never even notice. These coins were made for everyday life, used in vending machines, parking meters, and small purchases. At the time, nobody imagined that decades later, collectors would scour every detail of these coins, searching for rare anomalies and minting errors that could turn an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collector's item. But that's exactly what happened. In the 1989 P quarter is now one of those coins that sparks excitement among numismatists around the world. The design of the 1989 P quarter features the familiar and iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse side, a design that has been a staple of American coinage for decades. On the reverse side, the majestic eagle spreads its wings across the coin, embodying strength, freedom, and the enduring spirit of the United States. At first glance, there's nothing unusual about this coin. It looks like any other quarter you've ever handled. But here's the secret. The rare and valuable versions hide in plain sight. They are ordinary-looking coins with extraordinary differences that most people never notice. Tiny mistakes made during the minting process, errors so subtle that only a trained eye can detect them. Minting millions of coins every year is an incredibly precise process, but even the most sophisticated machines are not perfect. Small mistakes can happen, an off-center strike, a double die that causes numbers or letters to appear twice, or even minor die cracks and unusual lines that slip past quality control. These errors may seem insignificant, but to collectors, they are everything. Coins with these rare characteristics can sell for thousands of dollars, and in some cases, tens of thousands, at auction. One simple 1989 P quarter could transform from a 25-cent piece into a priceless collector's item. Imagine being at an auction where a rare 1989 P quarter is about to be sold. The tension in the room is palpable as collectors eagerly watch every bid. The price starts climbing, slowly at first, and then faster and faster as bidders compete to own this hidden treasure. The hammer falls, and the coin is sold for a jaw-dropping sum, proof that even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value. And if you have this coin, the same could be true for you. That coin in your drawer, your coin jar, or even your pocket might be the one that collectors are desperately searching for. So how can you tell if your 1989 P quarter is one of the rare ones? Start with the mint mark. That small P indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, examine the date carefully. Look for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings. Inspect the edges and the letters closely. Sometimes, the smallest detail, a faint line, a doubled letter, or an anomaly in the eagle's feathers, can be the difference between a normal quarter and a coin worth thousands of dollars. A coin that seems ordinary today might hide a secret that only the most observant collectors will notice. The mystery surrounding these coins is part of what makes them so exciting. No one knows exactly how many rare 1989 P quarters exist. Some may still be in circulation, passing from hand to hand without anyone realizing their value. Others might be sitting forgotten in old collections, overlooked for decades. Each time a rare coin surfaces at auction, collectors get excited, and the value can skyrocket. And every time a coin is discovered, it reminds us that treasures are still out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice them. Now imagine discovering one of these coins yourself. The thrill of holding a coin that might be worth thousands, the excitement of knowing that this simple piece of metal could change your life, it's not a dream. This happens every year, and the next rare 1989 P quarter to appear at auction could belong to you. It's a reminder that sometimes, The most valuable things in life are hiding in the most ordinary places. Remember, a coin's value isn't just about its age, it's about rarity, condition, and demand. A well-preserved 1989 P quarter with a rare error could easily sell for an amount that would surprise anyone. Collectors aren't just paying for a coin. They're paying for history, scarcity, and the chance to own something unique. Every auction is proof that even the simplest coins can hold incredible value. So take a moment right now. Check your coins. Look through your pockets, your drawers, and any old jars of spare change. Examine every detail carefully. If you have a rare 1989 P quarter, you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. You could be the one to bring it to auction, the one to witness the price climb higher and higher as collectors compete to own it. That coin could be your key to a life-changing discovery. The story of the 1989 P quarter is far from over. More coins are still out there, waiting to be found. Every jar, every old collection, every forgotten coin could be hiding one of these rare treasures. The excitement is real, the stakes are high, and the next 1989 P quarter discovered at auction could be yours. That's the power of paying attention to the details, of looking closer than anyone else. So check your change. Look carefully. Take your time. Because if you have this coin, you could truly be one of the luckiest people in the world. And remember, sometimes the most valuable things aren't buried in treasure chests. They're already in your pocket, waiting for you to notice.